Hello and welcome to Teamworks. This is a podcast where we'll be covering everything to do with the gaming world. Each episode we'll be talking to people like ourselves. If you're a streamer or you're just a casual gamer that just wants to talk about gaming, we'll be talking all about everything to do about gaming, and from time to time we'll be talking about Marvel stuff as well. So if you're a big Marvel fan, we'll be talking about that. So this is our podcast. We are Teamworks. Hello everyone and welcome back to Teamworks. This is episode 16 of season 2, and in this week's show we'd like to welcome Dahlia to the show. How are we doing? Thank you for joining.
Hi, I'm doing really good today. Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem.
How are you?
It's a pleasure to have you, and I'm doing good. I'm not doing too bad. So just tell me and our listeners a little bit about yourself, if that's okay.
Hi everybody, my name's Dahlia. I go by Dahlia the Hologram across the internet, and I create videos across YouTube, Twitch. I do some on Instagram and TikTok as well, and Facebook. So I like to meet people on the platform that they're already using. You can probably find something that I've created on your favorite social media. And I focus on video games and IRL content.
Amazing. Do you know what? It's great to hear other people's stories on the gaming side, because there's not many gaming podcasts out there, so it's nice to hear that you're doing video content on games that you love and stuff like that. That's what I started with. I started with my YouTube channel, doing videos of what I like playing, what games I like playing, and then I went on to streaming. Well, yeah, it's really, really nice to hear. So, how did you get into gaming in the first place? What was it that made you think, oh, do you know what, this is something I want to do?
I am someone who has been passionate about gaming since childhood. I started very young. I believe I got my first gaming system when I was I think it was my 10th birthday. I got my first gaming system. And ever since then, I just absolutely was completely passionate about games. So even growing up and going to school and starting a career in my free time, all I did was game. I remember being a child and playing the original Grand Theft Auto on the original PlayStation with my two brothers, and they were teaching me how to play some Grand Theft Auto, and that original Grand Theft Auto was pretty amusing, I have to say. I don't know if you ever played that one. Had a great soundtrack too.
I've not been really into the GTA games, but I've watched people playing it, and I've heard great positive sides of it. But that was it back in the 90s, wasn't it? The very first one.
Yes, I believe so. And I mean, the GTA games have evolved so much, but that first one was an overhead view where you were like an overhead view of a little car that kind of looked like a Matchbox car, and there'd be little lines of people that marched around. And I remember the soundtrack was just amazing, and a really fun thing about that game was you could take it straight out of the PlayStation and put it in your CD player, and you could listen to the soundtrack. Why don't they do that anymore? That was such a good idea.
I know, that's pretty cool. It's like, yeah, you're getting two things for the price of one, aren't you? The game, and also if you want to just listen to the audio sound, you can do by putting it through a CD player.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, that's like ancient technology now, it feels like, but it was really nice at the time.
Go on. I was just going to say, if you're going back now to the way the games were, you couldn't think of anything worse right now, could you? I mean, back then it was like, wow, this is amazing stuff, but now you look back and you think to yourself, the graphics weren't that good, were they? When you think of it.
It's true. I can't go back and play a lot of those old games, even if I want to. I enjoy watching a lot of streamers who play
Yeah.
retro games. I personally just don't want to anymore.
The only game I would go back to that would be, you could say, yeah, retro, is Simpsons Hit and Run. I absolutely loved that game, and if that ever came back out, I would definitely play it.
Fun fact, there is a local arcade where I live that has I believe it's Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure, as a full standing version. And I was just playing that the other day. It was pretty fun.
oh wow! And that was just in the arcade, was it?
Yes.
Brilliant, because I've watched Jack Black's videos, YouTube videos, and he started off because obviously he started doing a gaming channel, so he decided, do you know what? I'm not going to go full out on gaming consoles straight away. I'm going to go the old style and go retro. But it was retro in the arcades, like you just said, and I don't know whether you've seen his videos, but they're amazing.
I'm definitely going to have to look them up. You mean Jack Black, the actor?
Yes, yes, yeah.
I would love to see his videos.
Yeah, because he decided one day, I'm having a YouTube channel that's to do with gaming. So, good on him.
It's definitely fun. I can relate to him wanting to create that kind of content. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, he's got a good um, fan base anyway. So, it was a no-brainer for him to bring out a video channel, a gaming video channel, and it made perfect sense for him to do it. And I think he got his son to record it as well, so that was even better. It was a lot better because his son was recording it as well.
Oh, yeah, I love that. And plus, it can be like a family project that they can enjoy creating together. That sounds just so wholesome.
Yeah, and he's also a legend. I mean, he's funny, isn't he? Let's just say that.
Absolutely, I love Jack Black.
Talking about Jack Black, there's other celebrities that have decided to go the gaming way as well. Like James Berkeley from that plays Jay out in between us. He went and decided, you know what? I'm creating my own Twitch channel and I'm going to stream my games.
I just absolutely love that. I've seen a few Twitch channels created by famous musicians as well, such as one of the members of the Black Dahlia murder, which is like a metal band, had a Twitch channel for a while. I know Post Malone. I thought his Twitch channel was so funny because it's called Post Malone is So Cool. And I'm like, what a hilarious name. And then he has no profile picture, but if you click on it, it is actually Post Malone Gaming.
That's amazing. That I mean, the fact that he's got no photo as well on it, that just makes it even cooler, doesn't it?
Yeah, such a funny name too. Post Malone is so cool.
Can you imagine the chat going on there? It'll be like, "You're so cool."
Yes, very nice. I actually haven't caught a stream of his, but I think I've watched a VOD or two, and it seemed very entertaining.
So when you were talking about the game world and all the celebrities going on, have you ever come across any celebrities on any games?
Well, I feel like half the people I have the pleasure of dealing with on Twitch these days are bona fide celebrities in their own way. Aside from just being a viewer in chat, though, I don't think I have actually come across any, like, celebrities. How about you?
Well, I thought I've come across not a celebrity as such, but I thought I've come across a streamer. But I wasn't certain. But I was like, I'm pretty sure I've come across, not a famous streamer, but a well-known streamer. And my brother actually came across Ninja one game in Fortnite.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
He said it was unbelievable. He said, I couldn't believe that I was playing on the same team as Ninja. And this is going back years ago. It was when Fortnite was in beta. My brother managed to play it in beta. And yeah, he said I came across Ninja, which was wow.
I love that. I'm a big fan of Ninja.
So am I. That's our aim, is to get him on this podcast. It's not an easy task, I tell you, but I'm Tim, and I'm going to carry on and try my best to get him on the podcast.
Well, I will keep an eye out for that. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and we're trying to get some indie devs to come on to talk about the games and all that. So that's our target. We've got some news that's coming soon, which is going to involve us being on a different platform as well. But yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, gaming? And yeah, our aim is to get someone big like Ninja to come on our show. So if you're listening, Ninja, give us an email, mate.
Come on, Ninja, it'll be great. I can't wait to hear you on this podcast. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. So, just going off topic a little bit, is basically I've noticed that you've had success with your Twitch channel, and I believe you're over 7K followers. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think right now I'm sitting at a little over 7,000 followers, maybe 7,200, I believe. It's taken a lot of hard work, and I still can't believe there's that many people that follow me, but thank you everyone for following me.
That's
and if you haven't followed me yet, I'm on Twitch.
Yeah, definitely. That's absolutely fantastic, and would you be able to tell us a little bit more how all that came across? How did you manage to gain them followers? Was it you was part of Discord communities and you had a big community behind you and you just build it up through the years, or...?
Oh, sure. Well, one thing to note is that I am not new to streaming at this point. I actually just had my 4-year anniversary, so I've been going for a good amount of time now. And I also was very lucky early on that when for the first year I had under 1,000 followers. And I was actually streaming from my PlayStation 4. I didn't even have a PC yet. And it was during that time that I was saving money to build my first PC because I became passionate about streaming. One of my original mods went by the name Miss Radcore. Yeah. And she actually found my channel through a Discord post that one of our mutual friends, Kermadoo, who is the leader of Taste of Poison in the ESO. It's an ESO guild, but Miss Radcore was also an ESO guild leader, and she found that post that Kermadoo had posted about my stream. She came in and started chatting with me. We got along great, so she started coming by more and more. I made her a mod. The more she was in there, the more she realized she loved streaming. She became a streamer. And she actually vaulted to fame pretty quickly. So having her on my side kind of helped pull me along as well. Otherwise it was a lot of working really hard to make sure to connect with as many people who had similar values and similar game interests as I do. And I say values because there's a lot of toxicity on the internet and in the gaming community. And I personally avoid that at all costs. I focus on keeping positivity and kindness at the forefront of everything I do. And my community is run, we have a saying called heartness. And so if somebody comes in, I'll say, oh, super heartness, and it's basically giving them love. But I try to keep a community that's full of love, and we don't want people to be mean to each other, etc., etc. So I've found as many other people that had similar mindsets to that as myself, and I was just supporting them as well. I think that my biggest break came from those are two ways I kind of had a good start early on. I think a year in, I had 1,000 followers, and then my biggest jump in followers came when I was participating in the launch of a game called Elion, which actually ended up failing, but for a while it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. And for whatever reason, when that game came out, people wanted to watch me stream it. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen. So I had a lot of people in my room. I think I gained like 1,000 followers in 1 month.
Wow.
During that time. And it definitely kind of like got the gears moving. And even though, like I said, sadly that game isn't around anymore, they've shut down the servers, a lot of the people that I met during that time are still part of my community, and they still come and hang out, and we play all sorts of different games together now. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity I had with Elion and Play Cacao, which is the company that produced Elion.
Yeah.
It was good times, and I'm sorry things went the way they did with the game not working out, but I was really happy for that relationship and for that opportunity.
But the thing is, as well, that's it, isn't it? You've gained more people just playing one game. I mean, my game was the most viewers I had. I don't play the game anymore because I think it's going downhill and I think it's ready to just go completely. It was Rogue Company, and they had loads of people coming in and watching it. But then I didn't think I would get bored of it, but it was like they weren't updating it as much. They promised so many things about it happening and that, and then they sack half of their team. So, and that was High Res that made that game as well.
I think I remember Rogue Company. I'm not sure I ever tried that one.
Do you know what? It was a good game. It was a good game if you wanted to just play with your friends. Like, I mean, it was addictive, let's just say that. I was always on it. Me and my friend was on it, God, nearly every day of the week, if we could have the chance. But then we just felt like it was like you were playing just the same thing all the time with the same modes, and we didn't have a new character still. I think it took them to bring a new character, just over a year to bring a new character out, which I thought, it's a bit poor. And then they said, oh, we're going to do a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of things coming to the game soon. Anyway, 2 days later, they go and sacked half of the team. So, yeah, I can see that game dying, unfortunately. I've gone back to Fortnite now, and I think Fortnite is probably one of the best games out there now.
Fortnite's really fun. I haven't played in a few seasons, but I definitely have my periods where I play it a lot.
Yeah, well, I certainly play it a lot now since I've gone back on it. I mean, I had to play it right through the Ninja Turtle event because I love Ninja Turtles. So, yeah, I ended up getting all the skins for that as well, as you do.
I love Ninja Turtles too, and that almost brought me back to Fortnite.
Oh, why didn't it then?
Well,
was it just because you haven't played it for a while?
Just a time reason, really. I've never played it too seriously. I'm actually pretty good at it when I play, but I've never been competitive in it. So I guess, the real test is how would I do competitively, right? But just as a casual player, I've always done well in it. And I've always played it for fun. I've played it with my friends. I've played it with my community when they want to. I have a bunch of family members that really like to play it, so it's nice to be able to, they live on the other side of America, and it's fun to be able to bond with them from far away by playing Fortnite, so that's always nice too. But the main reason I don't have that as a regular part of my game schedule it has nothing to do with Fortnite. I just have other stuff filling the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things.
I totally understand, because I play, it's called a game called Euro Truck Simulator, and I don't, obviously you can hear it with the name, it's about trucks and you're driving with the trucks, but they also have a multiplayer mod, so then you end up driving with a few people with trucks and trailers all around the world. And it's a very, very relaxing game. And as we speak now, I've literally just come off a convoy not long ago from that game. Where and obviously, have you heard of Euro Truck Simulator?
I don't think I've heard of that one.
So it's a really relaxing game. It is a really relaxing game. Obviously, it's better to have a steering wheel and pedals for it, but yeah, it's it. I mean, I never used to be that mad on trucks, but then started playing this game because my brother plays it all the time. I thought, yeah, this is actually really relaxing. It's chilling. I mean, okay, it's not real life driving, but you're there talking to people and you communicate and then just having a nice drive across anywhere in the world, basically. And I think it's amazing.
That sounds lovely.
But yeah, so we're talking about games and all that and everything. But what was your first game you streamed?
So the first game I streamed was Fallout 4 on survival difficulty, and I loved it. It was my first playthrough as well. I'm a huge Bethesda fan.
Yeah.
I've definitely focused on Fallout 4 survival, and then also during that same year, my second game was Red Dead Redemption 2. So for the first year, it was all about those two games, and I completed my playthrough on each of those. And then the second year, I got really back into ESO. I actually used to be like a top ESO player, and I was a raid leader and a vet, or it's actually called trials in ESO, but it's essentially raiding like in any of the other MMOs. So I was a trial leader and a vet trial leader, and I was in the top 1% of DPS of all players. So that actually really helped my stream too. That may have been a big contributor to why I gained so many followers in the first year, or the second year, I guess, was because when I was streaming ESO, those streams were very popular, and people recognized that I had a lot of knowledge about the game, and so the room was always full, and there was always lots of people wanting to ask questions, and it was a really good time. I ended up deciding that I wasn't going to play ESO anymore, though, so I backed away from that just for personal reasons. I had already been playing it for 7 years before I became a streamer, and I was just ready to play other games. So ever since then, I've been a variety streamer. Right now, I'm really enjoying Pal World. I'm trying Nightingale tonight. Let's see. I still love all the Fallouts. I think that there's a Fallout 4 remaster coming out, and I intend to stream that and do another Fallout 4 survival run on that. I actually completed a permadeath run on Fallout 4 survival last year.
Yeah. Nice. I need to get back into them games because I really enjoyed starting to play them, but my mate, also my co-presenter, will always say as well, you're always 60% through a game, and then when we see a new game, you're like, you forget, you put that game that you were playing on the side to play the new game, and you never complete them. So I'm always probably around about 60% through games, and that's my problem. I need to go back to Fallout because I've not even played much of Fallout 76, is it?
Yeah, I play Fallout 76 too, actually quite a bit these days, and I love Fallout 76. That is one of my main games right now as well.
Well, I believe it's changed with all the updates as well, hasn't it?
They are really good at producing new content for it, and they have seasons now too. So we're on season 15 for Fallout 76. We just got some new content December 5th, which was called Atlantic City. And I believe March 26th is the next date for more content. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's March 26th. We're getting a new season, and I believe they're even expanding on the Atlantic City content and creating like a new area. Also, for the first time since the game came out, they're expanding their map, which is pretty cool because they've done some different things, like created different instances where you can go to different places like Pittsburgh, or they call it the Pit. So, but you travel in a vertibird and it's not really actually being on the map. So they're actually going to expand the map for the first time, since it came out in 2018, which I'm really excited about. But lots of new content coming out for Fallout 76. Woohoo!
That's incredible. I'll have to go back to that. I've got it on PlayStation, but I think I also have it on PC because if I remember, it was free on Epic Games one year. I'm not sure if I'm right on that one, but there definitely was a Fallout game free.
Well, if you end up playing it on PC, let me know and we can group together.
Definitely, we definitely. Also, if you ever go back on Fortnite, you're more than welcome to join us. We play a mode now that's been created by just random people. It's called Drop Hunt, and it's so funny. It's hilarious. You'll enjoy it.
Awesome, thank you. I'll definitely try to do that sometime soon.
Brilliant. So, going on to my next question, basically, is, what does gaming do? What does gaming mean to you? Is it, why is there so much passion for you about gaming?
That's definitely evolved over the years. To start, I think it was a sense of freedom for me to be in a game, and I definitely liked living in that alternate reality. It was very fun growing up to have a little game world to complement my real life. Now, as an adult and as a professional content creator, I use gaming as a creative medium. When I'm playing a game, I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm definitely still doing some of the same things I used to do as far as immersing myself and taking a little break from reality, but now I look at it differently. I think, how can I make this into a video? What's interesting about this? What do I want to present to people regarding this game? So it's definitely evolved more into a creative medium for me, and I think that that's a really neat way for it to have gone, because I have to say, in a lot of ways, my gaming is more moderated than it's ever been, but it's also like more meaningful than it's ever been.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really good point. That as well. I mean, I've always been a gamer myself, and I never said to myself I would get a gaming PC. But eventually did. I did get a gaming PC last year. Last year, and it's the best thing I've ever done is got a gaming PC, because it opens more options for you when you're streaming. And I do have a PlayStation as well. I'm a big gamer, so I've literally got a PlayStation 5, I've got an Xbox, a Nintendo, and I do have a PC now as well, which I'm happy to be proud and have, is because it's helping the podcast as well, because we started recording through a software that you could do through your phone, and it wasn't the greatest. So it's nice to have the equipment there that is going to work for you in the long run.
Absolutely. It completely revitalized and improved my content 100% when I was able to build a PC, aside from just only streaming on a PS4. I can definitely relate to that.
Oh no, I used to stream on the PS4 all the time, and yourself, you could have your camera. I don't know whether you do camera, but if you have a camera on your screen and you're playing a game, it blocks most part of that side of the game, and you're like, where's my character gone? So especially when I love to play the football games, so like FIFA and all that, I can't stream FIFA with my camera on, because the ball, I'll end up losing the ball, and I'm thinking to myself, where's the ball gone? So yeah, it's nice to stream on PC, because you can actually make it a little bit better, so you can see the whole screen, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Plus there's alerts and all sorts of neat stuff you can add on PC that you can't do on PlayStation. So it's so much nicer.
If you would like to be a guest on our show yourself and talk about your background, how you became a streamer or just a casual gamer, just DM us on our social medias, or you can contact us by our email, which is teamworkspodcast@outlook.com. Now let's get back to the episode.
However, on the flip side, to anyone who's thinking about starting a content creation side gig, I absolutely encourage you to start with whatever you have, because you can do a lot with a PlayStation or an Xbox or even just your cell phone. And the only way to get good at creating stuff is to just do it over and over and over again. So don't wait to get a PC if you don't have one and you want to make something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I started off doing video content creating, and I stopped it for a while, and obviously I was taking more interest with the streaming side and all that. But I really do need to get back to making videos, because I was really enjoying it, and I need to get back to my TikTok clips as well, because they were doing well. But it's one of them. You've got so many things going on, and now obviously we've got a podcast going, which has been going since 2021, and it's growing and growing now, because a lot of people say, "No, can we come on your guests?" Like I had a message off someone tonight saying, "Thank you for the follow. I've been recommended your podcast by a friend of mine." And he wants to come on the show now as well. So it's amazing when you can get a community going like that and it never ends. It is amazing. I love the gaming community for that.
Yeah, that's wonderful to hear, and congratulations on the growth and success. I'm very excited to see where the podcast continues to go.
Thank you very much. Honestly, thank you for your words. I'm not doing it to gain anything as such. I just want to give people a chance to have a talk about the gaming world and beyond. You know, there's not, like I say, there's not many gaming podcasts out there, so to get people on and get their story behind why they became a gamer and stuff like that, it gives them a chance and builds their confidence, as well as being a guest on our show.
I think you're absolutely right. There's definitely too few gaming podcasts, and I really enjoy this one, so I'm happy that you guys have this podcast. What a good subject, gaming, my favorite.
Yeah. I know, and some people say, well, gaming's just gaming, but every time someone says that, I'm like, you don't know gaming, do you? Do you actually game yourself? Because you have to game yourself to know that there's more than just gaming. There's a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can definitely tell a real gamer pretty quick. But yeah, I agree with you. That might be somebody who maybe doesn't game, if hardly ever, if at all. Yeah. Especially when you consider history and the evolution of gaming as a whole over the last, when did gaming start? The 80s or the late 70s? I mean, at this point, we're looking at about 50 years. That's incredible, really.
I think it was.
There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I think it might have been 80s, but it could have even been maybe just before the 80s. But no, it's definitely been going since the 80s. So yeah.
I mean, it's before my time, but
when did
the Atari come out? Yeah. The Atari is the first game system I know about. And then I think before that there was the Pong game on what were essentially PCs, but I don't think they were called PCs back then.
Were they the ones that you plugged straight into your TV?
The Atari? Or...
I'm trying to think which one now, because I had it was like a console that had over 1,000 games built in, and one of the games was Superman. And I'm trying to think what it was called, but that was plug and play straight into your TV.
That sounds nice and easy.
It is, yeah. Well, it's a bit more complicated now. Well, when I say a bit more complicated, if you've been part of the gaming world for so many years, it's dead easy to know what next gen is and all that. I just love it, and the graphics are amazing now. Can you imagine them in a few years' time? What can they do? It's like, I know they can do something extra special, but it's like, where did he go from this now? It's incredible the way it is already.
I agree. Some of the trailers coming out for games that haven't even been released yet. I know you said you're not a big GTA fan earlier, but the GTA 6 trailer, that looked like it was I thought that I was looking at a movie. I didn't think that I was looking at a video game when I saw that trailer come out a few months ago. It was really, really epic. And that is the direction we're heading in. Like, if everything's completely realistic, where do we go from here? I'm with you, but I also love it, and I'm so happy to be living in this time.
Yeah, the same. I'm happy. I mean, I've seen little bits of the new GTA, and PlayStation, the foremost. They haven't confirmed it yet, but they're looking to get the PS5 Pro out in time for GTA 6.
That's interesting. I hadn't heard about next generation PlayStation yet, but it would make sense. I hope that the next generation Xbox isn't too soon, because I just bought an Xbox for Starfield, like, at the end of last year.
I want to
and it
play
was expensive.
Oh yeah, that's the game I want to play.
Starfield's good. I liked it. I've had a lot of fun with it. I think it kind of got some bad publicity there at the end because of some drama with, like, people who worked at Bethesda writing back to negative reviews, and that, in my opinion, was inappropriate. But if you ignore all the drama aside from things like that, the game itself is actually really fun, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I would recommend it to people.
Oh, definitely, for sure. I mean, I'm like I say, I'm not a fan of GTA, but I do like the new look of the new game. But also, another game that's going to look incredible, it's in development at the moment, is Mafia 4. Now, that looks incredible. I don't know whether you've seen any screenshots of it or anything, but they're using Unreal Engine. So, can you imagine? Wow.
I'm going to have to look that up. I'm familiar with the Mafia series, and I've not seen anything from Mafia 4 yet, so that's something I can look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a screenshot. They've only literally put one screenshot out there, but the screenshot shows that it looks like it's in a real. Yeah, it looks like it's in real life. Basically, the buildings look like someone's gone over and just took a video of the buildings, and you're like walking around looking the way you would look in real life.
That's incredible. And then with the advances in virtual reality and AI, it might be hard to determine reality from video games soon.
Well, yeah, we'll look at the VR. You got the VR helmet. Okay, you got the second PlayStation VR helmet now. I do have the first one, but I've not plugged it in since I've got the PS5, and obviously the reasons for that is the PS4 camera wasn't compatible with PS5, so people were annoyed, and then PlayStation said, look, if anyone's got a PlayStation VR, as long as you put your model number in, you should be able to claim a free adapter that allows you to use the PS4 camera, which I thought, well, it should have been compatible in the first place. You shouldn't have to have an adapter to do it. But since then, I've just not connected it back up. I know I will one day, but it's when you know yourself, you get a new system, and you don't plug every single device back in, do you? So, but I could only last 15 minutes on that anyway, because I didn't know I had emotional sickness until I went on the VR.
Yeah, and that original PlayStation headset too, I played that as well. It was pretty heavy on the motion sickness. I think there's some that are like the expensive, more exclusive headsets. I can't think of the names of it right now, but a streamer I know just bought one and she's playing it regularly on stream. I think she said she can go about an hour now without getting motion sickness, which is good. I also was very susceptible to motion sickness, so I can relate to you there. I tried to play some Skyrim on that original VR headset for the PlayStation, and it was really cool. I loved it. I was in the game, but yeah, I could go only about 10-15 minutes before I was like, I don't feel good.
I'm trying to think what game I was playing and I didn't feel good. It could have been just VR Worlds. I was like, because you're turning your head around, especially when you're underneath the ocean and you're looking around the shark, where the shark is. Yeah, so you're looking around, but yeah, Astrobot as well. Astrobot became VR. And that was amazing, but obviously, like you say, it was very heavy on the emotional sickness. But also, I thought the very first PlayStation VR was not comfortable on your forehead. I don't know whether you was the same with that. Did you feel like it was uncomfortable or?
Yes, I didn't think it was comfortable.
I used to take the mask off and they used to have like big round things around my eyes, like I've been battered up or something.
Just don't go outside, you'll get a tan that way.
Oh, I know, yeah, and it'll stay there apparently.
That'd be funny.
It would, wouldn't it? What happened to your eyes? Well, it did start from a VR helmet and then I came out in the sun and it's decided to stay.
I'm just trying to picture you going outside in your VR helmet. That's also funny.
Can you imagine though, when the VR was first mentioned and all that? Who was it? Was it a snooker player? I think it was, wasn't it? And he literally thought he was playing snooker, and he leaned over the table and went smack on the floor. I think he was in a big shopping centre and they had it for people to try. But I was like, God, crikey. That was when it first came out as well.
Oh.
So yeah, I was like, whoa. But yeah, our last guest that we had on our show, he remembers when the very VR came out, and I'm like, oh, right. And he said VR from the retro years. And I went, wow. He said Nintendo bought a VR helmet. I think it was Nintendo, or it was either Nintendo or some other company. And he said, yeah, I got the chance to first play the ever VR, and I said that would have been worse then, wouldn't it? Because the pixels would have been bad back then. He said, yeah, looking back at it now, but yeah, that was his VR helmet he very first played on. Incredible. Huh?
That's kind of epic. I wish I could even see what one of those looked like, just for my own knowledge. That's pretty cool.
He said it wasn't like a helmet that you would put on now, but it was some type of VR, virtual reality, and it did actually work for obviously back then. But yeah, just amazing. And then we were talking about the retro controllers and all that, and then they brought them back for the Nintendo Switch and all that, and it's nice to see that there's some retro still out there. But if I had a chance to go back and buy an old console, I'm not sure whether I do, because I don't know whether I would play it. I would like a console that has got everything on it, so it's all in that one console. I mean, when the PlayStation 5 came out, I was a bit gutted because there was all high hopes that it was going to be backwards compatibility with PS1, PS2, PS3 and PS4 games. It just turned out that it was only backwards compatibility with PS4 games, which it's a shame because it could have been a super console then. But you never know, they might bring it out in the future.
I agree, or at least if they just made some of those older games more accessible to buy, not just stream. because I know there's quite a few in the library to stream, but I usually just want to buy one. I think the oldest game that I am still willing to play at this point is probably Morrowind from the original Xbox.
Yeah.
And I remember I tried to buy an original Xbox for it right before the pandemic hit. So because it was right before the pandemic hit, I was able to get an original Xbox for 40 USD. Wow. Now I think you can't find one for under 200 USD last time I checked. So I was able to order that. I already had my copy of Morrowind. I popped it in and I played it for a few hours and I was like, nah, I don't want to play this anymore.
Wow. Yeah, I know. It's one of them, isn't it? You go back to it and you think, God, I like that once upon a time. Now it's like, nah, I can't see me going back there. But if it was on the same console, I mean, don't get me. They've got the new PlayStation Plus subscriptions now, haven't they? So you got the obviously the essential one, which gives you just your monthly games like normal, and then you have your extra, which gives you a catalogue full of PS4 games and stuff like that. And then if you want to go even extra than that, you got the premium, which gives you the PS1 and PS2 titles, and also you can stream PS3 games. And recently they've just brought out where you can stream PS5 games out. Now, streaming games for me is it's not really a good idea in our lifetime at the moment, because not everyone has good internet, and you have to have a good internet connection in order to stream these games. It's a good idea in the sense that, you know, if you want to save space on your console or something like that, but if you got slow internet speeds, it's not really good, is it?
I agree with you 100% there. Also, speaking about being able to get some of the older titles on the newer consoles, so that same game, Morrowind, I put it in on, I streamed it on Xbox Game Pass on my new Xbox, and the graphics were improved because it was on the newer system, and they had remastered it in a sense. Like, I don't think it's an official remaster, but whatever they did to make it look better, to put it on the Xbox S, or the Xbox X. I have the nice one. I can't remember which one's which. But
you have the one with the disc?
Yes.
So that's the Xbox Series X.
So I have the Xbox X. Thank you.
Yeah, it's Series S. That's all digital, isn't it? Yeah. I think it is.
So yeah, I sprung for the more upgraded one, and it did have the disc. So that Xbox I bought now is even less valuable to me because I can play the same game on the Xbox X and it looks better, which I'm grateful for. But I have a very fancy green paperweight.
Oh, right, nice. And what was going to say, you know, you have a gaming PC, so the games that you got on Xbox you can play on PC anyway. And I've noticed on PC you can even upgrade the game graphics even more, can't you, on certain games?
You absolutely can. It depends on the game and it depends on your graphics card. Some of them are looking pretty incredible these days. That was one thing I was pretty impressed with the console, though, with the Xbox X. I was surprised at how, I guess, I think I heard Phil Spencer, who is like the head of the Xbox department of Microsoft. I think I heard him saying that they were making extra effort to make all the Bethesda games look like as good as possible on Xbox because they're both owned by Microsoft. So I can say I've honestly seen a difference. My fiance usually plays games on the Xbox. I usually play games on my PC. And then we'll play the same game. Like, for example, Starfield was one we recently did this on. And then we'll compare the graphics. I always think the Xbox actually has better graphics. My fiance says that he thinks that the PC has better graphics. So maybe it's kind of a grass is greener on the other side situation. But I think that Microsoft really has done a good job making the Bethesda games look better on the Xbox than elsewhere. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, it's the same with the PS5. The way they've done it, I mean, the console is fantastic. I love it. It's probably one of the best consoles I've ever had. Because obviously, I don't know whether you know, with the PlayStation 5, is it basically you can take off the side panels and replace them with others, which I think is so cool. And also, I never thought I would upgrade the SSD drive in it, but I did, because it was a weird memory that PlayStation brought the PS5 in. It was like, I think it was meant to be 820, which I'm thinking 820 gig is a odd number to have as storage. And then obviously it's not 820. As you know, there's software stored in there and everything, so you're probably getting about 600 and something, so you're losing nearly 200 and odd gigabyte just because software. So it wasn't great, the storage on it. So I said one day, when they turned around and said, well, we're bringing an update which will allow you to bring a 2 terabyte SSD drive, and you would be able to use it in it. So I went, oh, so I saved up my money and I got a 2 terabyte SSD drive, and it's the best thing I've done because I've not had to delete any games this time.
That's epic. I have a moderator for my channel named Silver who was just talking about needing to upgrade his SSD drive for the same reason, and I'll have to let him know you said that. That's good to know that it's worked so well.
Yeah, well, I do recommend him. It's the Corsair MP600 Pro LPX, and this is a really good. It's M.2 Gen 4, so it's a really good one. You can get up to about 7,100 megabytes. I think that's read speed, and then 6,800 megabytes of write speed. So transfer, I think that's classed as transfer speed, isn't it?
Sounds epic to me.
But yeah, I've got that one in my PlayStation, and when I looked, it was at the top of the list for SSD drives to go in your PS5, and you can also use this one for PC. So it's amazing the fact that, okay, it's a little bit slow consoles when it comes to PC side and all that, but they're starting to become like a PC now, and I like the fact that it's like that because they're putting better RAM sticks in and CPUs, and that's why, this gen is probably one of the best gen in history, with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, because the speeds on it, the way they load up and all that, is incredible, and it won't be longer till we see a full-on PC inside a console, basically.
I agree with you 100%. This generation has been mind-blowing with the graphics. That's actually one of the reasons why I did go ahead and spring for an Xbox Series X, even though I had a PC already. I usually wait until the console is it's gone down in price because the next generation is close to coming out, so I typically wait a few years. This is the first time I've bought a generation while it's still the current generation, and a big deciding factor in that for me was the hardware that they put in them this time. It makes a big difference, and it is really close to a gaming PC at this point. And it's a lot more affordable, like for somebody who maybe could only pick one or the other, a PC or a console for gaming. Like, the console's more affordable at this point, and I honestly don't see a huge difference when I'm switching between the two.
No, definitely. But the only difference with, obviously, PC gives you a little bit more option if you're a streamer and stuff like that, because obviously you can put overlays on and all that. I know you can do it through Xbox, but you have to pay for Streamlabs on that in order to get it working through that. But then
Yeah,
I think you
and
need
also
a PC
that's
anyway,
fairly
don't you?
new. Absolutely. I think that I'm happy that there's something for overlays on consoles now for streaming. When I was streaming on my console, that didn't exist yet.
No.
But at least now there's something for people.
Oh, well, I know on the PS5, the PS5's still the same thing. You can't have overlays while you're streaming. But one thing I do love about PlayStation, and since the PS4 days as well, is Share Factory. Now, Share Factory, it was amazing free software that you could use on your console just to make your content looking, amazing to put on your YouTube channels.
Yeah, Share Factory's great. I did some of my first edits on there.
Well, they've updated it more even on when they've brought the PS5 out. I mean, they've got what's called, you can do like proper GIF videos. You can put, what's the other? You can do like a little round clips where it just play. It's like it plays out as a trailer type of thing. And it is amazing. I forgot what it's called. It's something anyway, but it is really, really good, and they have updated it. You got more options on there to do when you editing. Also, it has a photo editing inside it as well, so if you want to do your thumbnails on there, you could do.
That's great. I'm happy that they made it so convenient.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I don't use Share Factory for me thumbnails. I've always used what was it, Canva. I think Canva it's a great software. It's easy to use, and yeah, I do have another video software which I've used since 2017, which is Wondershare. I don't know whether you've heard of that one.
Yeah, I think I downloaded a trial for Wondershare once. It had some neat overlays and things that other softwares didn't have, so it definitely stood out for that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously with the free version of it, it does leave a watermark over your videos. Of course, unless you want to pay and you want to get that watermark off with other features, all you're going to get on the free trial is watermark on your videos. But say you were just trying it out and all that, yeah, it's good for that. Definitely. So I was just going to go on to my next question, because we're coming to the end of the podcast now. But yeah, it's absolutely been amazing and all that. But you said early on in the episode about there can be toxic people in the gaming community and stuff like that. Yes, I totally agree with you. I've come across a few. What really gets me as well is, I am one of them. I love the fact that there's female gamers, a lot more female gamers coming into the gaming world, and when people are being so nasty about it, like why are they coming into the gaming world and all that? Well, hold on, doesn't matter who you are. Gaming is for everyone. It's like football's for everyone, hockey's for everyone. Anything's for anyone. There's no one-sided thing about it, and I just love the fact that I think it was last year the female gaming community and stuff that have raised from I think it was 50% more than the year before, so, or just close to it, which I think is absolutely amazing, and that's the way it should be. I think to myself as well, some of these female gamers are better than me anyway. So I love the fact that there's loads of gaming girls now, because they can probably teach us something that we don't know about gaming. So yeah, I love the fact that there's a lot more female gamers coming in, and for the haters out there, it's just plain stupid. Why does it matter who you are? Let them game.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm really blessed at this point. I definitely did deal with some people who were, I don't know, maybe mean or disregarding of my ability or me just as a person because I was female, but I feel pretty blessed at this point that I haven't dealt with anything like that in a while. Now, at this point, it might be because I've kind of established myself as a content creator, and like the proof's in the pudding. You watch me do a permadeath run on Fallout 4 survival difficulty, and 9 out of 10 guys are going to admit that I'm probably a better Fallout 4 player than they are, you know? So, I do want to say to any females listening, like, don't let people bring you down. Just ignore them. Like, get with a community that is positive and uplifting to you, because you absolutely can do just as much in the gaming world as any man, and you also can just have fun. Like, there's no reason to allow other people's opinions to bother you or pull you down.
Exactly.
If people are being nasty, just tune them out.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Don't even give them the time of day.
Honestly, I totally agree with you, and that's why I love the fact that there's more gaming girls in the gaming world, and it's growing and growing, and I want to see it grow. I don't want men deciding, oh well, this is getting too much and all that. And no, the gaming world is for everyone. So I'm just happy the fact that, like yourself, and there's more gaming girls coming into the world, and I think it's just incredible, because I think that's what the gaming world needs as well. You know what I mean? You don't want just one side, because especially the men's side, some of them can be really toxic.
Hey, you know, I mean, yeah, let's create a positive environment for everyone, and I certainly don't want to dog on anyone. When I say toxicity, it doesn't have to be gender-based. It can just be somebody having a bad day and wanting to be nasty. It can be because they're mad they lost a match. It can be, I mean, gosh, you know, as a streamer, every once in a while you get trolls that'll just come in and be toxic for no reason at all. So I don't think that there's any one version of toxicity that's worse than another, but what I really like to do, and what I hope everybody does, is just focus on positivity and find a community that you like and that is uplifting to you and that you can be uplifting to, and then hopefully you guys can spend some time gaming together, you know? That's how I run my community. I kind of run it like a guild. We hang out in Discord together and we chat and we play whatever game we're playing together, and like, we do keep our friendships purely online. It doesn't become anything more than that, but it's a real community where people really consider each other friends, and it's a good time. I really feel good about the fact that we have a safe place where people can uplift each other. And I mean, before I came in here to talk to you, I was so happy to see that a handful of people were gaming together and chatting in the Discord and spreading the positivity. So I just like that that's become a real thing that's rolling, whether I'm actively there or not, you know?
So that's what it's all about. I mean, my aim is, obviously, you know, get people to have a chance to come on the podcast, talk about what they love doing, which is gaming, of course. But if you want to talk about anything else, feel free to come on the podcast. But yeah, I just want to see, you know, positives coming out of gaming, and I want people to hear how much it means to people. Like, you know, sometimes if you've had a bad day at work, or you've just had a bad day in general, it's been one of them long ones, and you just want to chill, relax, and play a game, maybe stream to make other people laugh and make their day a little bit better. that's what it's all about. And me doing the podcast as well as my gaming side as well. I mean, they're linked together, but with my gaming community on Discord, basically I want to build a big community where people can just come in, hang out, get along with each other, play games, and that's where friendship starts. And there's a lot of communities that I've been in. Some of them have been a bit bad, but most of them I've come in, I've met a lot of nice people, and you know what, I've met you through Twitter, so and hopefully we can get you on the podcast again, because it's been a fantastic chat. And I think that's what the gaming community should be like. And if anyone's listening, don't be afraid. Just go out there, do what you like doing, and if you want to come on the podcast, feel free. I'm here to listen. And also, when my co-presenter is available, he's here. He's big on gaming, and we're just two lads that will talk about anything to do about gaming. Let's just say we've done a podcast over 2.5 hours before. That's how much we chat.
I love that, and I've really enjoyed listening to the episodes I've heard before. It means so much to me that you invited me on today, and I would definitely love another invitation at another time. So thank you so much for having me. It means a lot, and honestly, I look forward to talking to your co-host again someday. Brilliant.
I mean, it just happened this weekend that he's been doing a lot of rehearsal for his drama group that he does. So that's only the reason why he couldn't make it, because normally Sundays he can make it. That's why we made Sunday available. The fact that normally both of us are available Sunday nights in the UK, because it's now 22 minutes past 10 here now. But it's been absolutely amazing. And when you do come on for this part 2, hopefully, and I think he will be here, my co-presenter will be here, and you'll be able to have a chat with him as well.
Well, I will very much look forward to that. And I hope that you have a really nice rest of your night.
Thank you very much. So the last thing I just want you to ask you, and we always ask every guest at the end of the show, is 2 more questions. It's basically, one is, would you like to give a shout out to anyone?
Sure. I want to give a shout out to my moderation team, Lucas Booze, Silver Apocalypse, James, Shinigami James, Valgar, Labyrinth, Twitchy Bishy. You guys make everything possible, and I appreciate it so much. Y'all rock. Thank you for being some of my closest friends and for continuing to work so hard for the community. We all love you. Also, Dartex is our lead Discord moderator. Thank you for your hard work. So those are my shout outs. Heartness, everybody.
Brilliant shout outs then. Absolutely fantastic. And if you don't know where Dahlia is on Twitter, and all other social medias. If you would like to say what social medias you're on and what they're named.
Sure. So on Twitter, you can find me at twitter.com/that_Dahlia. On YouTube, I'm youtube.com/thatdahlia, all one word. On Twitch, I'm twitch.tv/DahliaTheHologram. TikTok, @DahliaTheHologram. And on Facebook, you can find me at facebook.com/DahliaTheHologram. DAHLIATHEHOLOGRAM.
Wow. Yeah, amazing. So give Dahlia a look up. Absolutely fantastic. She's about to go streaming now as well. So amazing. The last question that I got, I'm just trying to find it. It's from our last guest. Bear with me. I don't know where he sent it. But before we do ask that question, if you could name 5 games as your top 5, what will they be?
My 5 top favorite games are Morrowind of the Elder Scrolls series, Fallout New Vegas of the Fallout series, Fallout 4 of the Fallout series, V Rising, which is a newer survival game from Stunlock Studios. And let's see, what's a 5th? I think those are easy, my top 4. I'll get back to you on the 5th one. But I've streamed, like, on the charts, we call it the charts, the Twitch metrics, it says I've streamed over 70 games. So wow. I really do play a lot of games. Those are my easy top 4. I don't really know what to put on 5. How about Fallout 76?
Yeah,
mostly because I love the community.
Yeah, we'll put that one on the air. That's amazing. Last top 5. Honestly, that was amazing. I have managed to find the question from our last guest. This question was from Jesse, also known as DJ Scoob. He was a Nintendo World Champion. Nintendo World Champion semi-finalist back in the 90s, which was unbelievable when he told us. And the reason why he couldn't make the final is because his mum was in work, unfortunately, so he couldn't attend the final. So he could have been the world best Nintendo player back then. So unfortunately he couldn't make the final. But he did have a question for our next guest, and he didn't know he was asking it to you, which is really good, because he's like, oh, I'm asking a question, but I don't know who to. So his question to you this week is, what is the oldest video game system you ever played on?
The oldest video game system I ever played on was an original Nintendo, the NES. And I loved the original Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. Those were great on there. And I think I also got to play the original Castlevania. I was a little kid when I played it, so I think all I really remember is cracking the whip. But
nice
Battletoads was on there. Those are some good old school games.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for coming on our podcast. We'll definitely get you on for part 2 again. But yeah, you've been an amazing guest, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your night, or day, should I say.
Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. Thank you again. And anyone that doesn't know, you can get in touch with us by teamworkspodcast@outlook.com, or you can look us up on Twitter, which is TWPod1, and we also have a Instagram, Teamworks Podcast, and also we do have a Facebook page called Teamworks Podcast as well. And our platforms we're on to listen to at the moment is Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can also say to Alexa, play the latest episode of Teamworks, and yes, she will play it for you. Thank you for joining us, Dahlia, again, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.